time having Vexana going straight to the back and try to get the instant kill. But now Selangor Giants with the Farsa as well as the Claude. So right now, it looks like they want to fight fire with fire. You have burst, we have burst. And he can still play the long lane with the Claude.
Wow, look at this.
Not looking fun. This is not looking fun.
I mean, I don't know about you. I'm having fun with the draft coming in from both teams.
Well, if you're playing this lineup right now, then you might not have this much of a good time because you already are seeing so much backline potential from SRG. And you're playing a Vexana with little to no mobility or escape tools as well. If not for that knock-up you could just get from the Eternal Guard. But again, you raised the question on what Kuzen could pick up. We're not sure if the Ruby is going to be his hero, honestly. But Moon, do you think it's a gold Ruby? Or do you think they are still planning to flex it? Okay, never mind.
Back to it. Well, in some ways, this is confidence that we did some things right and we needed to swap a little bit. That's where the Ruby comes in off the ban list and the Vexana to try to mix up what is a similar 3 out of 5.
We're already jumping into this next game and the adjustments have been made by Pro. And I'm not gonna lie, initially when I saw Vexana, I'm pretty sure with the rest of the world, we were all like, wait, what? Why? Why are we going this when the Eudora was already doing some good work trading battle spells? And I think what it comes down to is wave clear. I mean, you can get Cinco de Pepe to come with you every single time to get that concussive blast, but now with Sa on this Vexana, single-handedly I can clear this waves. Pepe, go where you need to be.
That is fair, but you still have to be careful because with something like this, you lack the flicker. Yes, you had to pick up a flicker yourself, but you lack the movement, and that's where I kind of like this Farsa. And you lack some of that big AoE where I would have kind of liked the Eve possibly for Pro. But again, they're the pros here. They're the ones who have to make the decision. You do at least get the stiff arm for Cram. You have the Terrify. You have that ult that can kind of either disengage or engage, so there is potential for Saw here.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of potential, in a matter of fact. I was thinking Eve in the same exact light, but I think the big problem is that once you drop down that RWM, you're kind of a sitting duck, and I think here up in the top side, Innocent doing a very good job at winning out this lane and even getting an early regenerate out of Kusen. He's going in to call for some help here, and Belleric is on the way.
Oh, Sakai's though wants to try to target down Kuzen. First blood into the hands of Sakai's.
And it's just a little too late. Pepe could not get there in time. A great setup coming in from SRG's side. But now it looks like with that top side winning the way that it is, it's got to be a bit of a trade, right? Strong side bot with this Freya. This Ruby is going to try their best to try and slow Cram down as much and more ideally sandbag him.
Coily gets knocked up. Coily's been doing amazing on this Ling last game. Even when he died, he was making some great plays, always at least trading off. Able to secure the first 3 turtles, all 3 turtles, into the hands of Pro Esports. This time, Pro, though, definitely taking a slightly slower pace. They want to look for the engage, but look at SRG in this bush.
Yeah.
Oh, nice, I'm offended. A lot of damage comes in. Cram has to try to run away. But the vended airstrike comes down, instantly targeted by Coily. Coily able to finish Pro's away to safety. But Yooms is there.
Punish? No.
Yooms not going to punish.
Nah, unfortunately the flicker is coming back up only in 12 more seconds. The mistake was the fact that Cram and Stormy, they had the right idea. They're in position to actually activate the gank. But as soon as that feathered airstrike comes up, instant target prioritization coming in from Coily to attack him. Let's look at the replay one more time, right? The I'm offended comes on through and even Cram decided to disengage from that fight. I was thinking whether Cram could actually 1v3, but it's too early on in the game for him to do that. So they just have to peel away the jungler to slow down any kind of snowball attempt.
Still a big win for SRG though. 1.2k gold lead, a turtle, 2 kills. The deaths are on Sariam Felix and Kuzen, both offlaners. And a big kick lands down onto Pepe and he falls. Coily now trying to pick up something in the midst of the chaos. Tempest of Blaze does come down. Gonna get the knock up onto Yooms. Yooms falls, moves on to Stormy. Stormy forced to wings by wings away. Coily has one more Finch pose in the pocket, but Cram's gonna try to lock on. Sariam Felix here to help out. And SRG backs off.
Yep, they could have tried to deny the purple buff, but luckily, Felix is just man-to-man defense against Cram. Not gonna let him walk away from this lane scot-free. And on the opposite side for SRG, this is a big lead. 1.5k is looking really, really good right now. However, a lot of their damage is coming from both Sakai's as well as Stormy. Yooms is supplementary damage, but eventually it's going to fall off in the later stages of the game.
All right, so with that, I feel like we're taking a slightly slower pace this game. Things seem a little more even, but SRG still holding a nice lead.
And I like the movements from this, right? Hey, let's try and invade. Oh no, they're already there? Okay, let's quickly clear up mid and set up a potential dive on bot side. Now keep in mind, sorry, I'm Felix. 7 more seconds until that flicker comes back up, and Cram, I mean, he's thinking about it, but somebody needs to make the kick happen.
He does have the ult. This is a scary hero to go under a tower with. A lot of ability to hold you down for a second or more too. Pro Esports has no idea they're all there. They finally do show themselves. A lot of damage on Asari and Felix, able to use the flicker back out of the way into safety. And SRG knows they weren't able to get it. They're gonna back off.
Beautifully played, and now they unlock Cram from this lane, and they need to quickly run back up towards Turtle side. Unfortunately for Pro, they can't rush it down just yet, so SRG will contest.
Rooms gets away the dragon, right into Sakai's, a lot of damage. On to Beleric. Pepe will fall, Innocent able to get the kill, but the response quickly from Kuzin, able to get one onto Humes. Roamer for Roamer. Kuzin in the midst of Zmon's force. Cram forced to back off, doesn't have an ult anymore, and now Pro Esports has the pit.
Yep, they played for the fight, and now they don't have enough to contest for this turtle. They trade supports, and that's the thing. They're trying to make sure they keep Coily in one place for as long as possible, while SRG quickly have to make a cross-map play on the opposite side. Let's look at this replay one more time, because initially, I was thinking maybe they don't have enough damage, but then Innocent comes in with a blazing duet to give that last bit of a kick that they need to get across that finish line. Cram, the entire time, zoning out Sa. It's a great idea, because Sa is going to be the main anchor for the side of Pro Esports to wombo combo with each other.
All right, so it's a turtle for a turtle. Pro starting to show off a little bit. Coily getting some nice damage on a Cram there. Force use the Valkyrie's Ascent just to get away. Pro Esports are matching the pace very well across the map, and even when SRG looks for plays, they haven't been able to secure the big gank yet.
Yeah,
yes, they're able to like attack the offlane, but nobody's gone down to those advances just yet.
See, that's the thing. I think that Pro actually decided to adapt it. They realized that a lot of the punishment was targeted towards Coily's side, a lot of the invasions as well, and even down here by bot side, right? They're trying to keep him in visible areas across the map. They're not letting him take control on the opposite ends, and I think they've been doing this since game number 1 for the side of SRG. Pro on the other side, hey, if they're focusing on our Ling for this long, you know what? We're going to play for our Harith, right? Look at the reinforcements controlling this top side. Wait, a kick!
A lot of damage. Saw goes down, but a lot of ults used as well from SRG. They're going to be able to take that tower in the boss side as well. It finally falls. They've used so much just to try to secure it, and all Pro Esports are going to get out of this as a top tower.
This is quite the scrum, a game of rugby. Sakai's, no, Coily not going to go for it just yet. Scared that maybe without the Blade of Tempest, he's going to get hit by the stun. That's a pretty good call here for the side of Pro. It's 6-3, but this 1.7k lead has not been developed further than this.
All right, so Pro Esports kind of backed against a wall a little bit here. I do feel like SRG has been ahead of them, but still they're calm, right? And Coily continues to look for targets, wants Cram so bad. Can he get the final hit? Tempest of Blades comes down, but a nice jump away from Cram. And now Sorry and Felix is going to try to get locked up with a big kick on to Coily. Right into the feathered airstrike. Hume's caught in between 3, will fall as well, but still it's a jungler for a roamer. SRG gets a huge advantage.
It's great, it's great. This turtle should fall into their hands as Pro is forced to move back into the lanes to make sure something happens. And Innocent, he's max stacked right now on that Art of Thievery. He's dealing some real damage.
A lot of damage from Stormy as well on Asari and Felix. Sakai's able to get it, and everyone misses Cram. Looking for the engage here. Doesn't have the Valkyrie Ascent. Will back off. Kuzin looking for a quick strike. Drops Mon's force. He dives in, but he's stunned up, taken out. Kuzin might just get away from the blazing duet. Kuzin dashes back. Innocent not able to get the final shot down, but still a win in SRG's book.
Oh my goodness, you can hear that crowd. What a gut punch. They wanted to see Kuzin go down, but his mechanics kept him back up. And with the trades that have been happening across the map, honestly, it's not the worst for Pro, but at the same time, it's not helping the scenario, right? It's just trying to stop the bleeding. It's trying to stop the infection from spreading. And for Pro, Coily, he's that guy. But let's look at this replay just one more time, right? A great play because Kuzin has just enough CDR to be able to close that distance, but Sakai's locking him in place to not sneak in that last auto attack.
I was looking, I was so locked onto Kuzin. Sakai's getting taken out by Sariam Felix. Definitely evens the playing field a little bit there in that fight, right? Pro Esports haven't fallen behind. I mean, last game when they were ahead, they were sitting at about a 2.5k gold lead, and SRG was able to turn things around. This time SRG only leading by 1.4. Pro Esports definitely not out of this. They're going to try to move on to this bottom tower. The slow push, and SRG is not going to be able to make it there. Gotta watch out for Yumes. Nice way of the Dragon. Tempest of Blades comes down. Innocent has not engaged this yet. Yumes taken out. This could be bad for SRG. They don't want to force the engage. They're forced to just defend.
Able to get the Tempest of Blades out and buffer it just before the kick actually connects. Really good stuff here because it comes in two parts with that kick. So if you want to drag it out and max it out, you absolutely can. But if you got the right boots, you can get out of it no problem as soon as you have your abilities available. This could be Flicker, this could be Bladed Tempest. Either or works the exact same way. In this particular case here, I'm noticing that SRG, unfortunately, don't have the same benefits. Pro can walk into you like a bulldozer, overwhelming force. SRG actually have to play the consistent push and pull. They can't all go in at the same time. If not, Bellerin gets value, but Cram can't go in by himself.
Both teams dead even on towers on the off lane. No big macro advantage, but a lot of damage on Yumes. Feathered Airstrike comes down, but the damage isn't enough to keep Pro Esports off of his teammate. Pro Esports now, with a man up, aren't going to rush this Lord, but Sakai's with a cheeky positioning into this tri-bush, looking for someone to fall into the trap.
Actually, that was pretty huge. The fact that Pepe lost not only his Flicker, but his Wrath of the Dryads, he can't force a play upon his opponents. He pressed the buttons in the wrong order, and now this contention might be a little bit harder than it seems.
I mean, with a man up, it still feels comfortable. Sakai's going to try to make his way in. Coily's still able to get the Lord. Sakai's able to get away with his life, trying to take it. He's going to move on to the target, though. Pepe taking a lot of damage. Valkyrie sent into the backside. Sakai's goes down because Kuza responds force. And now Pepe may be able to get away here as Cram is unable to secure a kill. It's 2 down on the side of SRG and a Lord into the hands of Pro Esports.
And this is what I was talking about. It's so difficult for SRG to throw everything at the wall. Somebody might be out of position. Somebody is a little too far, and they need to be in literally the perfect triangulated area to catch everybody. Because look at the tri-brush here. Instantly when you see that Cram decides, I'm going to change my targets over to Saw's side, the rest of Pro immediately collapse around him. And most importantly, Sorry I'm Felix is buying the perfect amount of time for everybody to either battle spell out of there or create some distance.
Feathered Airstrike does come down in defense, but a lot of damage on Yumes. Yumes just hasn't been able to hang out long in these fights. The damage just a little too much from Pro Esports. Are they going to move for this? Oh, Sorry I'm Felix comes in. Purple buff is secured by Sakai still, but a close call on the side of SRG.
If they potentially dive this, and Sorry I'm Felix, he might just initiate. He's looking for these T2, but he's definitely not going to get that tower.
Damage. Feathered Airstrike comes down. Sorry I'm Felix forces it back off. Tower does not go down like you said. But Pro Esports are relentless. They're going to wait for the next wave and take it down.
Yeah, this Ruby pick, especially with the wave, ridiculous side.
A little bit of a 1v1 here. Innocent, not on the Moskov this time, won't be safe. Coily, though, able to pinch pose and escape.
No.
A beautiful steal for Pro Esports.
Really good stuff there. Innocent, unfortunately, just needed to kite backwards towards where Sakai's was going to be. He was really trying to sell that he was by himself, and unfortunately that costed him his life. And again, this is a much better position from Pro. Game number 1, they have the early game. Game number 2, now they have the mid to late down on lock.
Coily's starting to feel himself a little bit. Oh, I'm offended from Sorry I'm Felix, and Sakai's is taken out. Pro Esports back off immediately. They're playing it cleanly too. They don't overextend. We got our target and we leave.
He pulled off the Michael J. White. He was like, he's not given the signal that he's going to engage. It just looks like his hand is floating there, and the next thing you know, he's caught 2.
Uh-oh, Feathered Airstrike comes down. Just trying to fend at this point, but every time the Feathered Airstrike comes out, Coily's there. He really wants him to use it.
He wants it bad, and right now, I think that SRG, they have to recognize that they can't fight traditionally against Pro. It really comes down to the forced mistakes, but now that they're taking too much structural damage, I don't know how much control they can actually have. Looking at the items, finally, 3 down for Stormy. He's a real threat in the damage department, but he can never use his Feathered Airstrike first, because as soon as he does, Coily's right on top of him.
Oh, what a beautiful I'm offended there.
Right?
And Kuzin was so ready for it. The comms right now are on point.
It's so good, but the worst part is that it's unpredictable. You don't know when he's going to flicker I'm offended at this point. He's not giving the traditional signals most EXP laners usually give.
Okay. Nice kick onto Pepe, but Coily in the backside once again forces Stormy away. mplpe's unfazed. Coily just one by one. Anyone can come catch these hands at this point.
Yeah, they're throwing it up. They have to play the D. And so far, it's a lot more difficult to play the cross map without the Moskov. Seal out and, yeah, Cramp, they have to contest this.
Gonna look forward in. Kuzin gets the Lord. Blazing duet to the backside by Innocent. Takes out Saw. Sorry, I'm Felix looking for a target. Tempest Blades lands to the backside. The dash through. Cram falls. And now Coily gets kicked, but it's still not enough to stop him. Stormy drops. Yooms might just be the next on the chopping block, but Pro doesn't care. They're coming down the mid lane.
And if there's one thing that I've learned about the Cambodians, don't mess with their assassin plays, especially when it comes down to Ling, because they are nasty with it as they're looking to open up the inhibitor with a Lord empowered wave just after.
Yeah. Oh, that's gonna be it. Ladies and gentlemen, Pro Esports tied the score.
What a prediction with the I'm offended.